So if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything about living in Mississauga as well as other real estate related tips, then tap the bell and subscribe so you'll get notifications and be the first to know about current Mississauga market conditions. We get calls every day from people just like you. So whether you're planning on moving in 9 or 90 days, feel free to reach out. Our information is in the description box below, and we'd be happy to help you make a move to Mississauga. Now let's have a look at the 5 reasons why you want to live in the city of Mississauga. Number 1 reason to live in the city of Mississauga is its close proximity to Toronto. Now, remember, Mississauga was originally built as a bedroom community to Toronto, and that really hasn't changed. We are just a 20 to 25 minute GO train ride from almost all parts of the city. There's GO train stations in the south end at Clarkson, Port Credit. In the north end, you've got Meadowvale and Streetsville. So pretty much anywhere in the city of Mississauga, you're able to catch a GO train and have, pretty rapid access to the downtown core of Toronto. Now as well, there's an extensive system of highways that were built from the beginning that allows people from Mississauga to travel easily by car, easy-ish by car, into the city of Toronto. So we've got the 401 that runs across the top of the city, the Queen Elizabeth Way along the south, and both are major arteries taking people from Mississauga into the downtown core of Toronto. So reason number 1 is the great ease that we have of getting into a major city from Mississauga. So another great reason to call Mississauga home is that the city of Mississauga does not have a land transfer fee. So right now, when someone purchases a house, they're paying an Ontario land transfer tax. That's everyone in Ontario pays that tax on closing. But the city of Toronto has a secondary tax, which is equal to the provincial one. So you almost double your closing costs in taxes being paid to the government. Now, Mississauga, to this point, has not adapted that tax or adopted that tax. And, so it's a little more affordable for first-time buyers. It's a little more affordable for people trying to jump up a house size and not having to pay that tax. It makes a big difference on closing. So Mississauga, if you are working in Toronto, is a great option because you've got that lesser fee when you're trying to buy into the market. So another great reason to live in Mississauga is the different types of housing options that it can give you, right? So as I said earlier, Mississauga was originally built as a bedroom community. We still see lots of wonderful sort of subdivisions. Now, those subdivisions of the 1960s offer much bigger lots. So it's not unusual in the south end or up in Streetsville to see subdivisions that were built by Harold Shipp back in the 50s and 60s. And these are on big 50, 60 foot wide lots, offering mature trees now. And in a lot of cases, those homes are, a little smaller, but they have that beautiful, sort of old vibe, and they have big lots for people to sort of spread out on. And then as well, many of these homes now in a lot of the areas are coming down, and we're seeing multi-million-dollar homes being built in their place. So, Mississauga has that option of the higher end, wealthier homes, and a lot of, people call Mississauga home, some of the wealthiest people in Ontario. So we've got our Dalton Estates, Lorne Park Estates, there's a portion of Rataray Marsh where you're seeing, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 million homes as well, right? And finally, with the change in the government's look on density, we're starting to see all kinds of new condo developments pop up all throughout Mississauga. So, in the downtown core, that Square One area, there's 10, 15 cranes up at any time as they're building condos like crazy. There's the new Brightwater community in Port Credit. There's maybe 7 or 8 more buildings being done in Port Credit. In Clarkson area, they've got 4 or 5 proposed condos. So, there's a lot of vibrancy, a lot of new development happening at affordable rates, all near the GO train stations. So again, you're going to see a whole nother new layer of condo development being done in the city, giving easy access into the downtown core of Toronto. So as the city of Mississauga has grown, what we've seen is a lot of major companies have decided to call Mississauga home now, and that's only helped to grow the Mississauga economy. So we are now home to such corporations as Microsoft, Bell Canada, RBC, Pepsi-Cola, So a lot of major corporations have moved their operations into Mississauga, and with it, they've brought a lot of great paying jobs. So the city of Mississauga has started to become, you know, a hub. It's sort of stepping out of the shadow of Toronto and becoming its own great city. At the time of this, Mississauga is now the third largest city in Ontario. We're one of I think the sixth largest city in Canada. So what started as a small bedroom community of Toronto has now become a major power player and draws many corporations and has, great access to jobs, good paying jobs within its city boundaries. So, our earlier comments were close to Toronto, close to Toronto, close to Toronto. Now Mississauga has become its own city, and if you're looking for a great place to live and work, there's gainful employment and lots of it in the city of Mississauga. So another great reason to live in the city of Mississauga is all of the activities there are to do. So Mississauga has almost a festival every week. So there's, hubs where those festivals happen a lot of times. So Streetsville, which was one of the first one of the first settlements in Mississauga, it has the Bread and Honey Festival. They have a Christmas festival. So Streetsville, probably 5-6 times a year or 7 times a year, they have great things going on in their village downtown core. As well, Port Credit, they've got all kinds of festivals. The Waterfront Festival down there. They've got the South Side Shuffle, which is they close off all the streets and have blues bands play. So, Port Credit, Streetsville, and Celebration Square, which is at the city center in here, Ontario. All of these have weekly celebrations of different cultures, of music, of food, and so much to do there. And so Mississauga, as well, as we were saying, as it becomes a more major player, it starts to house some sports teams. So we've got the Raptors 905 play out of Mississauga. So if you want to see the budding stars of the Toronto Raptors, you can do that here in Mississauga. The Mississauga Steelheads are a local hockey team that play out of here as well. So we've got great sports teams to go and see without having to hustle down to Toronto, where you can see the stars of tomorrow. You can see them today here in Mississauga. We hope you found this video valuable. Now, if you live in Mississauga or you're thinking of moving to the city of Mississauga, please leave comments below on what you think are the greatest things about the city. And remember, if you're moving in 9 or 90 days, please feel free to reach out to us. We'd be happy to help you with your move to the city. And until then, we look forward to giving you more information and hopefully seeing you around the city of Mississauga.